everybody, welcome back to CCSabers. Today we have the Graphlex EP7 here. We're going to go everything that is included in the box. First, you have your hard case, you got your manual, you got your hilt bag, and then we also have the display stand that our lovely hilt is sitting on. We have this tiny, annoying flathead screwdriver. We got the blade plug, the charging cable for your battery, and the blade itself. But that is pretty much it. Now let's take a closer look at the saber as a whole. So we're going to look at the saber as a whole. We're going to start off the emitter, and then we're going to go to the pommel at the very end. But at the emitter, we have the bunny ears here on the back, the bunny ear clamp, the power, and the aux switch on the side with the glass eye. And we have 4 brass pins, 2 on either side here. But now let's go down to the clamp section. You probably noticed there is no Graflex in the middle, but there is still the 2 stamp lines on either side. So you can tell that it's a Graflex without the big Graflex label. And then we have the main clamp card here. It usually comes in silver, but you can ask for a gold clamp card. And all you gotta do is just loosen the clamp itself and then push the silver one out. And please put double-sided tape on the left and right side so that it stays when you change them out. Now we move on to the grip section here. We have the vinyl grip, and then we have the rivets going all the way around. And then we make it to the pommel, which has a D-ring, and then all of the sound ventilation is in this little strip. So there's like one little opening here and one little opening here. So if I just turn on like so, you can kind of hear it via the sound coming from this little section. But that is pretty much everything on the outside of the saber. Now let's look at the inside at the chassis. So first thing that you gotta do is flip the little clamp here up. It might take a second. And then all you gotta do is push and twist. And so once it's untwisted, all you gotta do is twist to remove it, or you could pull out from here, but this one's just easier. But this little cover for the chassis is really cool because it has all the names of these people that we know and love. But now let's look at it as a whole. So all you gotta do is pull it out. So we have the Profi board here. We have the kill switch on top and the power and aux button on the sides. So we go aux, power, and the V2 Profi board, like I said, and the rechargeable battery. Now I'm going to show you how to put the saber back together because it can be a little bit complicated if this is your first time having a Graflex saber. So you see this one end, and then we have the same, it's just kind of like these holes, but you gotta make sure that this empty one's aligned with the non-gold plated one in here. And it can be quite tricky, but once it is in, you can see the light from the emitter glowing, but always just double check. And then all you gotta do is take the cover and twist till it's tightened. Once it is tightened, take your grip section, line it up like so, and twist to lock it in. And so once it is locked in, you gotta just push down the clamp back down, and that is how to put the clamp back on, and that is the inside of the chassis. Now I'm going to show you how to put the blade in and all the effects while the saber is on and off. So first thing we gotta do is make sure we have everything that we need. So we have our hilt, we have our blade, and this tiny, annoying flathead screwdriver. I will keep saying it until I get fired or if I leave. This is just so annoying. But let's put the blade into the hilt. All we gotta do is open up the bunny ears and take our blade, put it in like so, push it in, and now once it is in, you can have the light on or off. I prefer to keep it off, but take your flathead and tying it like so. And then once it's tied, just turn on using the motion controls, which is left and right, like so. Turn on. Same to do again to turn off. But also, if you ever just want to turn on, there is the red button on the back. So turn on and off. And then the clash effects just by hitting the hilt. And then the blast deflection just by flicking down on the aux switch here. And then if we turn off, say you don't like the preset and you want to change it.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
We're going to just do this one. So there we go. We changed the preset. Also, if you don't like flashing lights and you have epilepsy, I'm so sorry. And then say if you want to just change it back, you got to just turn it upside down. And
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
And then that goes to the previous one. So now we have this nice light blue. But that is pretty much everything with this saber. If you like it, click this button right up here or subscribe. It really helps out. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because it lets you know when we're going to be uploading next. And I'll see you in another video. Bye, guys.